always a complex thing to do. You always have to take into account the cultural differences because misunderstandings may be part of the conversation if they're not taken into account. We're going to give some examples of this, and in order to do that, we're going to take into account the different cultures. We're going to represent the Finnish culture and also the Spanish culture because they are really polarized cultures that may explain this a little bit better. For the Finnish culture, punctuality is a really important thing to take into account. For the Spanish people, it's not that important and they do not take a lot of attention to this matter.
Hi? No, she's not here yet. I know, it's already 10 minutes late. Okay, bye. Come in. Sorry I'm late, traffic was terrible today. Oh, don't worry. Traffic is always terrible. So, let's start.
For Spanish people, it's important and even respectful to ask about the family, to ask about the personal life in order to get to know each other before the negotiation. While for the Finns, it's a little bit out of the border because for them privacy is really important. So this might be a really important thing to take into account when negotiating in between these two nationalities.
So, Mrs. Barstad, you had 2 children, didn't you?
Yes, you can call me Marika. And, well, there's something that I don't want to talk about. It's private, thank you.
Alright.
Another point to take into account when negotiating is that is the ideology of people. For example, Finnish people are usually very conservative in their ideas and they stick to their original plan, while Spanish people usually like to go out of the box and they're creative and they come up with new ideas as the conversation flows. Another thing that is really important is language and the usage of this. It's not only what they say, it's also eye contact, for example. For Finnish people, it's really important to look to the people in the eye because this is a sign of honesty. While for Spanish people, it's not really that important and it doesn't make a difference. Also, another part of language is not only words but silence. For Finnish people, silence says a lot of things and it's important and sometimes it's common to use it. While this may be a little bit awkward for Spanish to happen because they usually like to talk a lot and they don't pause during the conversation. But this might be awkward for Spanish, but for Finnish, a lot of body language and a lot of expressiveness may be awkward as well, whilst for Spanish is a really common thing to do. Also, when talking, Finnish people usually talk all of their ideas and at the end they ask, while it's a common thing in Spain to interrupt the conversation if doubts come out in the moment. Another thing is to take into account is honesty. For Finnish people, honesty is basic, while for Spanish people, even though it is important, they don't take a lot of care into that matter when talking. Also, Finnish people expect to compromise as the negotiation flows, while Spanish, they always have their goal in mind and they don't think in a win-win agreement as much as a Finnish would do.
So let's go and talk about the actual point of
Yeah, talking about that, I wanted to share you a great idea I just had about investing in Japanese technologies. What do you think about it?
Finnish people are always well prepared for the meeting. They always have their numbers and their studies in rule, and they have everything well prepared. While Spanish people, even though they do get some preparation, they go with the flow more than actually getting a structured plan.
Well, we're not that into Japanese technologies. I mean, we like to invest, but we would like more to get into the actual report and investigations that we have done, because it's more technique.
But what's that about? I think it's not that important. We could go ahead with the Japanese technologies.
Oh no, I don't think so. I mean, we want a win-to-win party, so we should both invest in the same stuff, you know.
Yeah, well, for my business, I think it's more important to invest in this Japanese technology, so you should think about it a little deeper.
Well, maybe I will talk with my boss. I don't know, but I will have to talk.
Excuse me, you don't need to talk with your boss. We should go into a deal, you and I.
No, I don't think so.
No? Well, then let's go and talk with him. No?
No, because we have to ask him before. We cannot go into his room right now. He's in some kind of work.
Oh, he's busy. You
Yes.
mean? Well, then call him and maybe we should.
Yes, we will do that.
When negotiating with Finnish people, you might not want to expect a lot of compliments or grateful thoughts because they won't give them away like that. They're really professional in that matters. While Spanish people, when closing a deal, they will show their gratefulness and their warmth. You might also want to know that Finnish people always book their meetings during the working hours, while Spanish people don't really mind about the time because they're really open to the counterpart's time. However, Finnish people don't mind extending the meeting if it is required, while Spanish they're always going to save only the time that you requested for them to meet. When closing the deal, you might see or notice a lot of gratefulness, as I mentioned, from the Spanish part, because they will close the deal either with a handshake or a hug or a little touch in the back. For Finnish people, this might be a little bit awkward, and you might not want to do the same when dealing with Finns. If you're going to negotiate with Finnish people, you might expect them to want to close the deal or to have a further meeting in the sauna, so don't freak out if this ever happens to you. If you're going to have a meeting with Finns, you might want to book everything because they don't like unexpected things. Spanish people are a little bit more spontaneous, but Finns aren't. So you might want to take a look to that. Also, if you are going to close the deal in a restaurant or somewhere outside of the office, you have to expect, if your counterpart is Finn, that he would like to split the check. If they're Spanish and they are the ones who want to close the deal, then let them pay, because for them it's like a gift to the counterpart. Also, if you're going to deal with a Spanish group, then you might want to take them out for a wine when closing the deal. If you are dealing with a Finnish group, then you might want to take them out for coffee because they prefer that better. Also, you may want to know that Finnish people always like to solve the problems today, so don't extend them to later, because they would like to give a solution quickly. Spanish people might want to take their time because they take these things a little bit easier, so they don't mind if it's not solved on the moment.
So we're talking about the 65%.
Yeah, well, actually, I think time's over. We could continue talking about this tomorrow. I will invite you to a glass of wine.
Tomorrow? Well, we should finish today.
Well, but time's over, so yeah, I mean, a glass of wine to close the deal, it's nice.
I'll prefer coffee with maybe sauna.
Sauna?
Yes, sauna. Sauna is a really thing of here, of Finland.
Well, why not? What do you think about 7?
You mean in the morning?
No, of course not. In the evening.
No, 7 in the evening I'll be in my home.
Well, so middle time?
Yes, we should call tomorrow.
Okay. Bueno, pues, I mean, perfect. See you.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah. Nice to meet you too. Bye.
We hope you have found this video useful in case you have to ever negotiate with either a Finnish or a Spanish group. And also we recommend you to do some research always whenever you are closing an international negotiation business.